Okay, so hello. I keep doing that. This is COM 115, course expectations, everything that you need to know about this class to pass this class, and sort of the trajectory from week 1 till we hit that home run in week 8. Again, my name is Kim Ware, and I'm your instructor. I've been teaching at Bryan for 3 years now. And I've also been teaching at another institution in the community college area of Arizona, although I moved to Denver about a year and a half ago. So big change from palm trees and extreme heat to the blizzard I just got to endure over this last weekend. So I'm actually really glad to have the opportunity to experience other seasons. I've got 4 kids and they're desert rats. So this has been a really neat time for them to enjoy sledding and just building snowmen, because you don't do that in Arizona. Anyway, before we get started with the overall presentation, I'm wondering first, does anyone have any questions about the course that you want me to address before I get started? So you can type those in the chat, and if you don't, just say no questions or none for me. Looks like we have about 12 people here, including myself, which is awesome. I'm so glad to see everyone. Okay. No questions, none yet. No questions. Good. Awesome. So the next question I'd like for you to answer is, when you saw interpersonal communication on your course list that you were taking it right now, what is the first adjective that came to mind? Describe the way you felt for me. Oh boy, anxious, OMG, oh no. What? Nervous? Meh. That's the correct intonation, right, Ryan? Meh. Oh yes, there is this change in Yellow Dig. We're going to talk all about that. Have no fear. Meh. What? Yes, I can understand your potential hesitation in taking a communication course. But let me first assure you that in the college world, no matter what institution you go to, a communication class is a prereq. So you have to do it. And hopefully this course has been designed in a way that you're actually going to enjoy. By and large, we have had fantastic feedback in this class. Typically, you have to take like a COM 100, which is a survey class, or you can choose interpersonal. There's also public speaking. Those are kind of the 3 primary base level communication courses. And so do a huge shout if you're not a big fan of public speaking. This is not that class. We are not doing any public speaking. And we're not going to spend a huge long time looking at the history of communication as a whole and streaming off into a bunch of different tangents. So the idea of interpersonal communication is communication between 2 people. And in your professional and your personal lives, you are for sure communicating with another person at least 1 time a day, I'm confident. And if not 1 person, then multiple people or small groups of people. So what this course does is it helps you where you need help the most. Communication is something we've been doing since we were babies. I mean, we came out of the womb screaming and crying. We've always been communicating. And eventually we started talking, and we experienced emotions, and we receive messages. And what interpersonal communication is going to do for you is it is going to give you language to explain the communication that we do, which is going to make you a more conscious communicator and hopefully a better communicator. So let me jump in and first talk about the overlay of the course. So here's the outlook. How many of you have had a chance to look through the assignment list and kind of know what's coming up? Anybody? Were you talking to me? Good. Good. Awesome. So if you did good, even if you just scrolled through it, you kind of have a basic overview of what's required of you. The assignments in the first half of the course are geared toward building a foundation so that you kind of have a canvas, so to speak, to spring forward from into application. So we're going to start by looking at ourselves. At least 2 students have already done the self-concept worksheet and plan. And this worksheet is designed to help you have a base grounding in who you are and the way that you communicate. It's really not designed to elicit personal information from you, but rather for you to understand for yourself how you communicate. And once you understand how you communicate, sort of what your nuances are, where you feel most comfortable, it helps you then be able to communicate with others. So sort of like to thine own self be true, know who you are so you can interact with other people. So that's just a worksheet. You're going to download it, fill it out, and send it on over to me. And then we're going to take a look at theory, and we're going to look at cultures, because the United States is a melting pot, and especially in our cultural climate right now, we got all kinds of stuff going on, always have. So you're going to learn a little bit about different cultures, barriers that lead to communication across culture, and how we can kind of overcome those. Then we're going to move over to look at a foundation for conflict and understand conflict management styles. We're going to learn about power bases, bases from which we all function to assert control and to have power in different situations. And by the way, assignment 2 and assignment 3 are really fun too, because assignment 2 has this super awesome case study that I think is just a blast and is going to elicit some great conversation. And then the conflict assignment, we're going to be looking at a scene from Aaron Brockovich. Anyone remember that movie? Real life, Broch movie, Julia Roberts. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. Yes, I see a caps. Yes. If you haven't seen it, you're probably going to want to see it after you watch the scene. It is not required to have seen the whole movie in full. You can totally do it just watch the scene, but hopefully it'll get you pumped up and jazzed and ready to go conquer the world. Once we get past week 4, a little bit before that, the second half of the course is applying the concepts that we've used. So we're going to take these concepts and we're going to look at how we do friendship across ages. So starting in college, midlife, senior citizens, and then we're going to do an interview assignment between a family member and someone in the workplace, and look at the differences in communication between personal family life and work professional life. And then at the very end, we get this very teeny tiny public speaking element. Later on in the course, I'm going to give a crash course in public speaking. It will be less than 30 minutes. The reflection assignment is more like a video diary where you get to answer 3 questions, simply reflecting on the course, but it's an opportunity for you to try out some public speaking stuff. Again, you're not going to be graded on your ability to speak publicly. You're not going to be graded on your ability in all of these assignments, from the writing to the end at the reflection. I am really looking for your ability to understand a concept and apply a concept. Are you starting to feel any relief about the course? I hope so. Good. Good, good. It's okay if you don't, but I see lots of yeses, and that makes me happy. Good. Cool. So let me go ahead and move on then to assignment expectations. So one thing that I ask is that you ask me questions about the assignment before you submit. I understand that your assignments are due on Sunday, and a lot of you are going to be working on them over the weekend. If you come up to like Saturday night and you have a question and you're just like, I don't know, I have no idea what she's looking for, then I would prefer and ask you to wait to submit the assignment. Let me answer your question on Sunday or Monday and then submit the assignment. Because at Bryan, one of the features I love so much is that you get to resubmit for mastery, which is awesome. It's one of the reasons why you should be able to pass every single class, because you can constantly resubmit for mastery. You can always get it right. So it kind of cuts out extra work for you and for me if you wait to ask questions before you submit, if you just really don't get something. Because if you submit something that's incorrect, then I get to write a bunch of extra stuff about why it's incorrect and how to make it better. And then you spent time writing a bunch of stuff when you weren't sure. And then you get my feedback, you have to read through my feedback, then you have to write again. And we can cut out that whole middle section if you will let me answer your question. I can either call you, we can Zoom, or we can write back and forth. But it just, you know, I'm about time saving. And from what I can see, most of you have crazy busy lives. And I just say, let's save time where we can. So next, let's talk about writing the best that you can. The majority of the assignments in this class are short answer assignments. At the beginning of the assignment, you will see a word count that is required before you, for each section, for each short answer. It ranges anywhere from 50 to 100 words. And there's also a study guide. When you open the assignment description, take a look at the study guide. It is a link that is in a separate, it's like a link, but it's a separate document that you'll open. And in the study guide are lists of concepts for every single question that you could possibly use, except for the very first assignment, which is all about you. And I haven't really gotten to study any of you yet to give you a possible list of who you might be. And that's probably a good thing, because you know yourself, and I'm not a psychologist. I'm just a communication instructor. So I like to think, I can't really see many of you, but I would like to think that you are smiling at me right now and you're nodding your head and you are enjoying this so much. Hi, I see some of you. So let me get back to writing the best that you can. Some of you have had English already, and some of you have not had English. So we all had English in high school, but it's probably been a while since some of us have taken high school English. Like I said, I'm a homeschool mom, and when it came to doing English with my kiddos, and like I just write, you know, I know where the commas go, but I don't always know why the commas go where they're supposed to go. And so it's been this whole learning curve for me. So when I say write the best you can, again, I just want to see that you understand the concepts and that you can apply it. So here's a great trick for meeting those word requirements. The first thing that you're going to do is rephrase the question as a topic sentence. If I say, what are the assignment expectations? You will say, the assignment expectations are. Then, whatever concept you choose, you're going to state the concept, define the concept. So that's at least 3 sentences right there. After you define the concept, give an example of that concept either from your life, from the case study, or from Erin Brockovich, whatever the assignment is, and then write a final sentence to tie a nice big bow and link the definition with the example. So what are the assignment expectations? The assignment expectations are that I ask questions before I submit. Asking questions before I submit means this. I'm planning to do that in assignment 1 when I don't understand Schutz's theory. And by asking a question, I will have fulfilled the assignment expectations of asking questions before you submit. You see how easy that was? So word count should not be a problem. So please don't feel stressed or intimidated when you see that. So any questions about the assignments? I'm going to take that as a no. If you have any, just let me know either in the chat or you can message me later. Now those learn-its. LearnIts are great because they help you get things from your short-term memory into your long-term memory. One thing about general education courses is that the set limit is higher than in your other classes, and we cover 3 chapters right away. So make sure you're setting out time to do your LearnIts. It's going to take you a little bit longer than it typically does. Now, I did not make that rule, so don't blame me, blame somebody else in the upper echelons of Brian, but don't tell them I said that. Although this is being recorded, so they're probably gonna know. But anyway, I digress. Today, I posted a video on one way you can take notes through LearnIts. And I am a huge fan of taking notes because there's something really special that happens between your brain and when you write things down. There's a connection that's formed that's really helpful for maintaining that memory. So check out that video when you have a chance about how to keep notes for LearnIts. There's multiple ways to do it, but I highly encourage it. It will help them go faster for you. And finally here, late policy. No, is it every week to complete more than 3? No. It's just the first week is 3 LearnIts, the rest are 2 chapters, because there's a lot to cover in the very beginning to give you that solid foundation. So this week is the week you need to ramp it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that being said, let's talk about the late policy. I would really like for you to submit your assignments on time. If you cannot, just let me know. I am happy to work with you. If your assignment is turned in after Monday or Tuesday sometime, you are likely going to see a temporary 0 posted and a little note that says, please remember to turn in your assignment as soon as possible. How can I help? But it's only temporary. Technically, in the syllabus, you need to have all assignments weeks 1 through 3 completed by the end of week 4, and the second half of class completed before Wednesday of week 8. So do your absolute best to meet those requirements. Again, I want you to learn this material. I want you to leave this class feeling more confident in your abilities to communicate with other people and to receive messages from other people. And that can't happen if you either don't do assignments or if you rush through assignments. So I encourage you to box out time for yourselves to make sure that you are soaking up all this good information and that you are learning the material. That's the most important thing to me. Okay, so I'm ready to move on to the next slide. Any questions about the late policy or LearnIts? No? Okay, great. Okay, response time. So here's what I have said an awful lot about what I want from you. So what should you want from me? You should want me to respond to your messages in a timely manner. And what I like to do generally, I try to respond within 24 hours. Just like you, I have a home life also, and I like to think some semblance of a social life, but maybe not. So I will always get back to you within 24 hours, whether that is a Canvas inbox or you send me a text message. If it ever goes beyond that time, please feel free to send me another message so that I can get back to you. It's never really happened, but I suppose there's a first for everything. And then for your assignments, technically Brian gives me 5 days to grade your assignments. I typically don't take any longer than 3 days, so 72 hours from the time it's submitted to the time that I get it back to you. The only time I go closer to 5 days is if I just get slammed with papers all at once. Sometimes that can happen toward the end of the semester if people have gotten behind and I'm getting multiple assignments from multiple students. It can take me just a little while to funnel through it, but overall, I'll get back to you in 24 hours with a message or 72 hours with your assignments. I do like to take Sundays off if I can possibly squeeze it in. I recommend that all of you try to find a time to rest so that your body can recoup so your mind can rest, so that you can meet some of those other needs that you might have. And Sundays is the day that I try to do that for myself. Okay? All right, awesome. So let's talk about Yellow Dig. So this is me with shorter hair. So I just look at it to remind myself what was, and then I think about what currently is and what I'm gonna do about COVID hair, but not today, eventually. So, super funny, I know, just hilarious at this time of night. So anyway, Yellow Dig, you may have noticed that Yellow Dig has moved from the original version of Yellow Dig to Yellow Dig Engage. But I know new things are hard to learn, but I honestly think that you're going to like Yellow Dig Engage so much better. The tools are just better. If you've already hopped on there, you can see you can do so many different things. You can draw, you can do a video, you can post pictures, and I feel like it's a lot more seamless so far as being able to comment and respond to people and seeing when those things have happened. The biggest change is the grading scale for Yellow Dig and the way that grading happens. So as you can see on this slide, I've listed all the different ways that you can earn points. So the percentage of points that you're earning in Yellow Dig for this class is the same as it's always been. Okay, this is actually a 1,000 point course, but Yellow Dig is worth 20% of that. So each week you're going to aim to get 1,000 points on Yellow Dig, but that's all going to be percentaged out to reflect the actual percentage, 20%, the 200 points that Yellow Dig is in our class. Because you have 1,000 points, all these other things have been bumped up too. If you give a new post that's worth 40 plus words, it's no longer like 50 points, it's 125 points. So you can read through there how many points you can earn. The accolades are a little bit different because originally I was able to give out badges, and those were worth 5 points a piece. So every time you posted or you did something that was really swell, I could give you a badge. But here now, it's nice because I can actually award you points based on the level of work you do on Yellow Dig. So I can give you badges, which are now accolades that range from 75 to 150 points. Okay? So I hear a precious little baby. Is there a way to mute that? I can't quite tell who it is. Get it? Just a second. I don't know whose baby it is, but it's very precious. So try to keep hearing me as best you can. Okay, so then the next thing with Yellow Dig Engage that's different is that it's going to automatically put points up for you. So I'm no longer going to be going through in week 4 and week 8 and awarding points. It's going to do it for you. And each week, those points that you earn are based on the total points you could have earned up to that week. So you're going to see your points fluctuate, but please do not get really upset about that when it goes down, and it should be going up. It will all work out in the end. And if you see any discrepancies at all by the time we get to like the beginning of week 8, please let me know. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on it too, because it's my first time. I've done the training for Yellow Dig, but it's my first time working with it with live students to watch the grading happen. So just a second. It's my first time to do the grading end, so I'm going to be keeping a close eye on it too. So if we could just work together on that. I think we're working it out.
Emily, I've got you, honey.
Ding. All done. Okay, cool. Oh, no. That's not what I meant to do. This mouse. Okay, so here we are with Yellow Dig. Do you guys understand sort of what I'm saying? Sean Pruce also put out a video that goes over Yellow Dig that's in the announcements. Any questions about Yellow Dig in that way? I'm gonna gather a no. I know we kind of we love to hate Yellow Dig, and we can do that together over on Yellow Dig if you want to, but I actually really like it because when we are in an online college situation, it's easy to feel like you're an island, especially in general education, because we only meet twice in face-to-face. It's okay, Alicia. Everyone sees Alicia's post. It's okay. I will record it and you'll be able to watch it later. But Yellow Dig helps us build community. One day you might be walking in a grocery store and see someone with a Bryan t-shirt on and you'll be like, what? Did you go to Bryan University? I did. Were you in Com 110? I think I like recognize your face from your picture. I was. And then you've made a new friend, maybe someone you'll end up working with, but you already have a foundation built because you've done Yellow Dig. And students are in the same different classes with their cohorts using Yellow Dig all the time. So I encourage you to use this as a platform to continue to build relationships and to have a place to belong, because you do belong here. And we're so glad to have you here. And it's a privilege for me to be able to work with you and teach you and all the students at Bryan. So make the most of Yellow Dig. Yeah, don't worry, Alicia. Not a big deal. All right, so any other questions before? I mean, that's it. This is Com 110, and it's going to be a blast, and you're going to love it, I hope. So I'll hang out for a few minutes. If you don't have any questions, you're free to go, but otherwise, let me know, and I will see you in class. Thanks, Ryan. No, there's no class every week. There's just one now and one sometime next month on a Wednesday. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. Sometimes people aren't comfortable doing that. And so I just want you to know that, yeah, you can, but I'm not reading it to learn a bunch of personal stuff about you. It's for your benefit, not mine. You're welcome.
So how long is the class? Is it 30 minutes or is it 4 hours?
Oh no, it's just 30 minutes. Yeah, we are in and we are out. So I'll hang out as long as you need to, but if you're good, then you can go. Great question.
Oh, so that's one question. The second question is sorry, there's no daughter in the background. But my second question is this. So is it basically saying, is the class basically based on how to talk to people, delivery and things like that?
Not as much focus on delivery. It's more about you learning about people and learning about yourself and becoming a better communicator.
Ah, got you.
Yeah, so it's basically, I don't know if you've had a chance to do any of the Learn It's, but if you look at the communication model, we have senders and receivers. And sometimes those messages go like this. And so what this class does is going to try to help you to send messages in a way that your receiver can get what you mean, and for you to receive their messages in a way that that makes your communication more cohesive.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it's basically saying, let me paraphrase it. So basically what it's saying is, all right, so if I tell you something or we talk or something like that, instead of me coming off, I could basically understand where you're coming from, you can understand where I'm coming from, basically.
Yes. Yeah. So along with that, we're going to learn all about listening. We're going to look at different ways that people do conflict, because everyone has, there's 5 primary bents in the way that people handle conflict, and there's different kinds of conflict. So we're going to look at all of those things that are going to help ground you as a better communicator. What program are you in?
The personal training the exercise science program.
Okay, yeah. So it's going to really help you when you meet all these different people in the gym that you're training, kind of be able to figure out a little bit better where they're coming from, help you to help them understand what your goals are as their trainer, and then not to mention understanding these different cultures that people come from. It's just going to give you more perspective.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Makes a lot more sense now. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you just did, like, you just paraphrased beautifully. So I think you're gonna really enjoy it, and you're gonna do really well here.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a question.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello. About Yellow Dig.
Okay.
Can you post about the lesson, like on Learn It's? Can I always go to the Learn It's to find items like topics and post it on there?
Yeah.
So you can post mostly anything that we learning, right? Like
You can.
or anything like that, right?
Yes, you can. And also each week I post a spark at the beginning of the week that gives you something to talk about. So you can find stuff on your own if you want to, but I think you would probably do really well just answering the spark. And then I usually do like a Super Saturday, which I didn't mention, which is another thing that people can comment on. I try to keep Yellow Dig really fun and light.
Okay, because I noticed when I put videos on there, you have to download them now. So you can't just go to YouTube and find a video now. You have to download it into your inbox.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So is it another way to put videos besides downloading it?
That is a great question. Would you let me look and troubleshoot a little bit, because I'm new to it too, and figure out for sure how that works?
Are they going back to the old one, or is they going to stay with this?
No, we'll stay with this, because even though there are some cons, there are many more pros to it than there are cons. And the old Yellow Dig is phasing out. So this is like the company's new version.
Oh. And one more question.
Sure.
On your lessons, it says, I am.
Yes.
So is it possible we have to just look into the chapter 2 and just find what it's talking about and just put I am?
So the I am relates to your self-concept. So it's not really in a chapter. It's more about you sort of pinpointing the roles that you play or your identity. So you might say, like, for me, I am a mom. I am a teacher. I am a runner. So it's those parts of you that you'll be listing out.
Okay. Because I was thinking more of a chapter than.
Yeah, I can see how that's tricky.
Okay. Okay, then that's it.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
please don't hesitate to ask me any more questions, and I will do a little more research to understand the video feature.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night. Thank you for your time.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.